I love Doom. All of them. Ultimate Doom, Doom 2, Final Doom, Doom 64, Doom 3, it doesn't matter. Hell, I even enjoyed the movie. It's always been one of my favorite series, and still something I come back to now and again just to play. And the community is still active. Modders are still having a lot of fun seeing what they can do with the aging original engine. People are creating new games and making the game even bloodier in mods such as, say, Brutal Doom. Overall, it's just that freaking fun to play. Although Doom 3 was a disappointment to some players, I still enjoyed playing it. I reviewed it years ago, and although it did have its flaws, I still found it to be a highly entertaining game. Of course, many people will disagree with me, but I don't care. Yet, for as much fun as I've had playing it, I still couldn't help but think that the game got away from its roots a bit. The original Doom was a game where you could run around from room to room, shooting anything that moves and occasionally get all giddy when enemies were torn apart in bloody chunks. Or even more bloodier when Brutal Doom is installed. Doom 3 was more about atmosphere and the questionable experiments that the UAC was doing, and that lone marine that stood his ground and repelled a demonic invasion. I haven't played the Resurrection of Evil expansion for Doom 3 yet, but it's on the radar, so I'm not sure if it got any better, but I honestly doubt it. But then Doom 4 was shown. I think I may have crapped my pants just from hearing the name. I refused to really read about it or watch any videos that were shown for it. The only thing I did was read the Steam sales pitch and saw the screenshots. When I heard about Doom 4, just called Doom, all caps, I knew it was going to be a game I wanted to review. I took off from work for a few days, although my boss probably thinks I have a few screws loose up in the northern regions of my body, and played the hell out of it so that I could review it the week after it came out. And so here we are. And for the week, this may be a long review, so be forewarned. Once again, I'll say that this is a small disclaimer. I'm only reviewing the single-player portion of the game. I have yet to try the online play or snap map feature, which is essentially the map and scenario creator. Maybe one day I'll do a special on those, but for now, I'm focusing entirely on the single-player campaign, and that is it. So where do I start? How about the intro? You were some random person strapped to a huge chunk of rock by some heavy-duty chains. A zombie-like creature tries to get a bit too close for comfort, and your character grabs it by the head, evades a few jumps, and smashes it into a rock-like bed. Already, after all this nice bloody mess that you just created, I knew I was going to love this game. The gore was back, and I was a happy little man. You then get access to a small plasma-like pistol. No HUD is shown on the screen yet, as it's still in its early tutorial stages. I found that it had infinite ammo, no reloading, no iron sights, and a secondary shot that required you to wait a few seconds in between shots, as it was much more powerful than the standard blasts. Oh, and for the record, a crosshair is available by default, but I turned that off because real players don't need crosshairs, damn it. Only a short time from here, you get access to a shotgun, and then this room is where the game really begins, jumping right into the action. Your HUD appears. What's this? A health meter? In a modern game? Wait. No regenerating health? Fuck to the yes! This game decided to completely ignore the majority of other shooters out there, and instead reach back to its true roots. So, let me recap already. There's no regenerating health, and the game will force you to pick up armor and health items. There's no iron sights, although a crosshair is available if you want to be a pansy about playing it. There's no reloading, other than the waiting time in between alternate firing modes with weapons. And although I didn't mention it, there's no quick time events. Oh, thank God for that. I guess I should slow down. I'm going to skip the story for now and talk about the gameplay, as I'm just itching to discuss it. Ever play Painkiller? It's another review for another time, but I've always said that Painkiller wanted so hard to be Doom when I grew up. It had fast-paced battles, small variations of weapons, and no primary objective other than kill everything that moved and find the exit. It was a somewhat modern-day Doom. Well, that's how I can best describe this new variation of Doom as well. You go from room to room, although you do have objectives to follow, like shut down a reactor, find a door, etc. In each room, you'll encounter demons of different types. Most of them are new variations of classics, like your imps, possessed soldiers, revenants, hell knights, cacodemons, and such. Many times, you're forced to eliminate every hellish threat before the wave will be unbarred, as the UAC facility seems to have an anti-hellish invasion security protocol in place. Once every demon is laying in a bloody mess, the way forward is typically unlocked. It's not always required to kill every demon, but it's highly recommended because of your combat ability meter, but more on that later. So to kill your enemies, you have a large amount of ways to do so. First and foremost are your guns. You start with that shitty little plasma pistol, although it's easy enough to upgrade a little bit. Next is the basic combat shotgun, which is always oh so sweet. Next up, you'll probably find the heavy assault rifle, although you can happen to find the plasma rifle first. Either way, they're both automatic guns. The plasma rifle has a much higher firing rate but does less damage, whereas the assault rifle is slower but packs a punch. From there, you get the obligatory rocket launcher, the super shotgun, a Gauss rifle, and a minigun. All of these weapons have their own individual uses, but I actually preferred the plasma rifle, assault rifle, and the super shotgun over all of my other armaments. The Gauss rifle packed a punch, and the slowness didn't bother me too much, but it eats up your plasma ammo quickly. Same with the minigun. It uses the same bullets as the assault rifle, but didn't seem to do as much damage. However, the minigun did have its uses once you get to play with some of the runes mixed with power-ups, but I don't want to get ahead of myself, and we'll discuss that later. Your guns aren't the only way to kill things. You can carry what is considered in the game as equipment pieces, which is just a fancy term for grenades. Truth be told, I forgot that these were available for most of the game, so I never really used them until the end when I was trying to upgrade a rune. Again, more on runes later. And then we come to the glory kills. When doing enough damage to your enemies, you may see them glow in a blue outline. This is a signal that you can get in close to finish the enemy off. Once that blue outline turns orange, you can hit the appropriate button, I think by default F, to leap in close and kill the demon. By doing so, you're treated to a very bloody animation of your Doom Marine obliterating the monster. Glory kills always drop health, so when you're getting low, you definitely want to take advantage of this feature. Later on in the game, you can get the enemies to drop armor and even ammo from performing these glory kills, which gives you even more incentive to perform them. You can also see different kills by targeting a different portion of the body when activating the kill. You can try out different limbs, the head, the body, or even jump before going in for the kill. And strangely enough, I never got tired of seeing these kills. They all happen in a second or two, so it's not like they're drawn out or taking up too much of your time. I should also mention that when an enemy is ready to be finished off, they will stagger and remain stunned for the duration of the glory kill time frame. If you do not finish off the enemy in time, they'll often get some of their health back and will resume trying to slay you. In addition, if you feel that you can't get in range to get the glory kill performed in time, you can just opt for the classic shoot them until they stop moving strategy. Oh, and you're also invulnerable while performing the glory kill. But as soon as it's over, all is fair, so keep that in mind. At least the enemies always drop health when being killed this way, but it may not be enough for hard difficulties. Just a warning. Of course, there's gotta be more to the game, otherwise I'd probably be ending the review here saying, it's a fucking amazing game, go and buy it right now. So next up, the upgrades that you can find. Each weapon, other than the pistol and super shotgun, have two upgradable mods that can be attached to it. For example, the combat shotgun has a choice between a 3-round burst or a grenade launcher. You can probably guess which one I chose. These mods don't use up a different ammo pool, so the grenades use the same shotgun shells that you can pick up and use in the barrel. Weird, but I guess technology is great on Mars. Mods aren't available by default, and instead need to be unlocked by finding one of these small flying robots that are in most stages. Once you find one, you can choose which mod you wish to be made available, and from there, you can start to use it. You can also go into the dossier and upgrade every mod. These upgrades usually improve its skill, firepower, or cooldown time. Once you've used the weapon tokens to purchase all available upgrades to a selected mod, a final mastery mod becomes available, and you'll have to work for this one. You must complete the challenge shown in order to make that mod available. At least you won't have to purchase this one when you complete the challenge. These mastery challenges range from having to smack an imp with a direct hit with a shotgun grenade to killing 5 summoners with the rocket launcher. Some of the challenges are easy, others not so much. Little pro tip, use the weak, pathetic possessed enemies for most of the challenges when you can. Mods can also be hot swapped during combat, simply by pressing R. By doing so, the Doom Marine will simply switch out what mod is installed on the currently equipped weapon. I should also mention that all mods also require you just to hold down the right mouse button to activate them. It's really simple enough. So how do you come across these weapon tokens? There's actually many ways. The first, and easiest, is just by killing enemies. See those 5 icons at the top right of the screen? That's your combat meter. I think it's actually called something else, but I'm too lazy to look because I'm outside while writing this review. You know, taking advantage of the 60-degree cloudy weather that I'm experiencing. What can I say? It's not raining, so I'll take it. Anyway, this combat effectiveness displayed increases as you slay Hell's Army. Every time you max out one of the icons, you get a weapon token. This means that most levels will give you 5 weapon tokens, just for slaying every enemy you come across. You see why I said kill everything now? Also, in most stages, you have 3 challenges that you're tasked with trying to succeed in. These can be found in the dossier, on the map screen, on the right side. Again, many of these are fairly simple to accomplish. Kill a Cacodemon with a chainsaw. Do a specific glory kill on a certain enemy. That kind of stuff. Yet some of the stuff in the later levels is a bit more difficult. Killing 2 Barons of Hell with one shot? Well, I know what we need here, but I'll describe that later. Anyway, each of these challenges nets you with another weapon token. Another way to get these tokens is to find secrets. There are 2 weapon tokens to be found by searching for these secret areas. The first token is when you find half the secrets on a level, and the second is granted if you find them all. So all in all, each stage has the potential of awarding you with up to 10 weapon tokens. Your suit shouldn't be left out, so I'll talk about the Praetor tokens next. Supposedly, the suit of armor that you wear is called the Praetor suit, for some reason. It has upgradable features to this as well, although I will admit that they don't seem to be as useful as, say, the weapon upgrades. Sure, the auto map features are great, and I can't complain about not taking any environmental damage from the exploding barrels at later stages, but other stuff like decreasing the speed of your weapon swaps seems to be a true waste. You already switch out weapons quickly as it is. I don't know why it felt like it was necessary to give a buff to this. So naturally, I never bothered with it. Anyway, these Praetor tokens are found in stages by finding specially marked dead soldiers. The suits of armor have USB drives implanted in them, of which your character just grabs and uses for his own amusement. Each suit of armor gives you one Praetor token. Many of these tokens are found in secret areas, so don't expect to see these come as easily as the weapon tokens. And now it's time to talk about the rune system, which I've already mentioned a few times in the past few minutes. At certain points on the stage, you may find a set of rocks floating around with a rune plastered on them. By touching them, you're teleported to a minigame of sorts. You get put in one of a small selection of arenas and given a small task. By completing this task, you unlock one of 12 runes. The task consists of things like kill so many enemies with only 1 HP remaining, use barrels to kill enemies, and stuff like that. The runes themselves are incredibly useful perk-like abilities, allowing enemies to drop armor or health when glory killed, giving you a speed boost when glory killing an enemy, or one of my favorites that you see later in the portion of the game, giving you an infinite ammo for your weapons when your armor is above 100. It's up to you which runes you want to utilize, because it ultimately depends on your playstyle. You can only equip up to 3. Just like a lot of other stuff, runes can be powered up and upgraded as well. Each one can be leveled up once by completing its own separate mission. These are typically a bit lengthier than the weapon mod mastery or level challenges. For example, the armor dropping rune is improved when you pick up 2,500 units worth of armor. The vacuum rune requires you to absorb, I think it was 300 to 500 items. Don't worry if you start forgetting which challenges you have available, because it will remind you once you hit certain milestones in that mission. Or you can just hit tab to find out manually. Your choice. You can also find various power-ups that will assist you in defeating Hell's minions. You get haste, which increases your speed. Invulnerability is a bit rare, but it's fun to mess with. But the two best ones are Berserker and Quad Damage. Berserker is just like it was in original Doom. You bring out your fists and engage in some good old-fashioned beatdowns. Every hit will amount to a glory kill. It's a bit disappointing when it's over and you have to use your guns again. And then you get to Quad Damage, which is just as it sounds. You do 4 times as much damage with your weapons. I don't care for this as much, but when you add in the rune that gives you infinite ammo over 100 armor, you bring out the minigun and you just start tearing shit up. It's actually one of the few times in the game that I actually use the minigun. There are 2 other weapons I haven't mentioned yet, and if you've played previous Doom games, you probably already know what they are. These are the chainsaw and the BFG. These are special weapons because they don't have your normal ammo meter to them. That's right, the chainsaw has ammo now in the form of gas cans. The gas available is shown as the red bars underneath your ammo meter. Every kill done from the chainsaw is an instant kill that will have the enemy drop a large quantity of ammo. This is a great weapon used in 2 situations: if you need ammo, or if you need to chop down a big bad quickly. Of course, bigger enemies require a larger amount of gas, so you do want to make sure not to waste it, as the gas is much more limited than standard ammo, and does not drop for enemies, regardless on how you kill them. And then there's the BFG. It too has its own ammo meter, shown by the green bars. Ammo for this is pretty rare, although you can equip a rune that, when upgraded, allows demons to occasionally drop the BFG ammo when glory killed. Unlike in Doom 3, where you had to hold down the trigger to charge up the weapon, and could possibly kill yourself if it overheated, this weapon goes back to its original Doom roots, where you just press the trigger, watch the green blob, and then see everything explode. It's so satisfying to look at, but you do have to remember that ammo is much rarer and should save this for emergencies. I think that covers combat and upgrades. No, wait, I'm not. I'm missing the last upgradable feature: Argent Energy. Argent Energy is essentially power obtained from the realms of hell. In certain hidden spots, you can find an orb of the stuff in a chest. Once it opens, the Doom Marine grabs it, destroys it, and the suit absorbs it. You then get the option to level up your health, armor, or ammo. Personally, I actually went with ammo first, as I seem to be running low a lot but not having an issue staying alive. In fact, most of the deaths I've accumulated were from platforming hiccups. The game has a very retro level design, in which things are fairly linear, yet open at the same time, if that makes sense to you. If you would slap an older style Doom textures on these maps, it would still make sense. At least it would to me. Yet, there's a fair amount of platforming that now needs to be done. Sometimes you're forced to jump across abysses that will kill you if you fail, Granted, you're often shown a green light on a platform you're expected to climb up to, but if you miss a jump, you're screwed regardless. Getting a double jump upgrade a few levels in does help, but sometimes a bad jump is a bad jump, and you'll just fall to your death. Adding that there's no way to quick save, and everything is done by checkpoints, and you may get frustrated from time to time, as the checkpoints sometimes feel a bit inconsistent. If you do want to find all the secrets in the game, good luck. Sure, they're not as hidden as, say, the original Doom, where you had to shoot a certain part of a wall or walk around the perimeter of the room mashing the spacebar. I was actually kind of surprised to see the difficulty of finding all the secret areas in the game. Sure, the auto map helps, but when you look at it, it really only gives you the majority of the platforms. Small moving areas aren't shown, so although an area designated as not explored may seem to have a logical path, it may not anyway. All in all, the level designs in this game are fantastic and deserve praise. Oh, and the music? Simply amazing. Most of it is hard rock infused with techno, but it feels strangely appropriate, as it's all fast-paced and adrenaline-inducing. You know when you see a demon, it's time to rock out. But of course, the game can't be perfect. There were some issues I found with the game, some worse than others. For one, the story. It's practically non-existent. Not that I'm surprised, mind you. The game feels like an early 90s FPS with upgraded visuals and themes, but the game does try to give you a plot in regards to two scientists fighting, one messing with a portal and starting an invasion of Mars. The other scientist doesn't really like you so much since you break a lot of his research, but he agrees to help you anyway. From there, there's not much until the very end of the game, and even so, you're not really told who you are. Are you the Doom Marine from previous games, not including Doom 3? You get some backstory regarding your character, but it's never really fleshed out. And although nearing the end of the game you start thinking that they're going to reveal who this Marine ultimately is, the game ends without you even knowing. It's a bit disappointing, but at least not to the level of, say, Rage. Now, at least in this game you know who the Doom Marine is. In Rage, you're just told about the big bad commander but never meet him. It still pisses me off. Loading times in this game are abysmal. When you first start the game, you're shown the Bethesda and id logos, and then a loading segment of about a minute. You then get to choose from three options: multiplayer, campaign, or snap map. Once you choose campaign, you're sitting through another 30 to 45 seconds of loading. Once that's done, and you select an option to either complete the campaign or do a mission select, it's on to another 30 to 45 seconds of loading. It's frustrating when it takes 5 minutes just to load a damn level to get back into the action. The scroll bars and dossier screens sometimes decide they don't want to work right. You might click them and try to move them around, but then you have to click to a different topic, and then go back if you really want to read everything that the game gives you. It's a bit strange. You'd think that this would have been tested or something. I also had another bug that was similar when the game wouldn't let me leave the dossier screen. Really strange. I had to just start clicking around and mashing escape before I finally got out of there. And now we come to the biggest pain in the ass, bullshit, no possible excuse for this other than no real testing glitch that I came across, that I've also read as extremely common: the developer mode glitch. Here's what happens. I loaded my game for the first time, played the first 3 levels, and then stopped. Had to take a break because I got hungry. Came back about an hour later and got told that the network and online services were down. Whatever, I didn't care. I wanted to kill hordes of demons. Loaded my save file and found out that supposedly developer tools were activated. This is complete and utter fucking bullshit. I never activated the console, never typed in any commands, didn't put anything in the launch options on Steam. I never even typed IDDQD to get a laugh. So why in the name of God is the game telling me that save file is flagged as cheating because of developer mode? Even when bringing up the console you see dev mode is in there, but why the fuck is it coming up? I normally wouldn't care, but with this damn dev mode, achievements are locked and won't appear, plus any collectibles you find in forms of small Doom Marine dolls or classic levels won't save. I'll exit the game, come back, and all my Doom dolls are locked again. And I know I found one classic level, but I don't see it anywhere. Bull fucking shit. I've seen various fixes, from creating a new save file to verifying all of Doom's files, to even completely uninstalling and reinstalling Doom to attempt to fix this. I tried the first two, but I'll be damned if I'm going to uninstall and reinstall 43 gigabytes worth of files on my shitty ISP just to fix a bullshit bug or glitch or whatever the fuck it is. This really needs to be fixed, and pronto. I think that's all I have for Doom. Overall, it's a fun 12-hour romp through a true sequel of a franchise. Everything feels like it belongs, although I'm really disappointed that you don't see any Pain Elementals or Archviles. Probably better off that way now that I think about it. There are a few new weapons and monsters, but overall, it just plays like you would expect it to. Honestly, if you have the choice, I'd probably recommend getting it on console, as the dev mode issue really needs to be fixed before I can recommend the PC one. But overall, it's extremely fun and worth the asking price. Final score? 9 out of 10. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.